I don't think this is New Jersey.
I'm a huge fan of SpongeBob. Just take one look around my room, you might notice that. I don't think any normal human being has this inside their room. With a love for SpongeBob, you know I had a bunch of the video games. From Battle for Bikini Bottom, to Battle for Bikini Bottom, to Battle for Bikini Bottom, I have them all. For the longest time, I was certain I knew about most of the SpongeBob games, except like, I don't know, Fist of Foam. But the other day, I was doing my daily browsing of the internet when something caught my eye. Up until that point, I had never seen or heard about this game. SpongeBob Nighty Nightmare, a PC game released in 2006 by SpongeBob PC game titans THQ and AWE Games. I would trust them to deliver my baby. This was supposed to be a PC counterpart to Creature from the Krusty Krab, but they put it under a different title because, I don't know, it would be funny. Obviously, I just had to immediately order the game without reading anything about it. Would it try to be a horror game, a platformer, The Cure? Well, it got to my house a couple days later. I think someone forgot to take this out of their pocket in the washing machine. Do you dare interpret these dreams? It's a SpongeBob game, not my therapist. Honestly, I would have been all over this as a kid. The box makes it seem like this would be a genuinely creepy game. Also, who doesn't want to destroy local landmarks?
Enough stalling, let's play the game. Now, if only I could find an Alienware laptop somewhere.
Before I start, I just want to say that the download process of this game was probably the scariest part of the whole experience. It played these weird ambient water noises while showing one of those old PC download screens that envelops your entire screen, giving you this weird sense of uneasiness and nostalgia. That's the most serious this review is going to get, and it's not even on my computer yet. We get into the game and... There's a lot to take in here. Between the ear-shattering snoring and the most unofficial-looking title screen I've ever seen from a licensed game, I think this is one of the worst title screens I've seen in a while. It just feels weird, you know? Maybe because I can see Plankton's gums, I don't know. There's 3 characters to choose from: SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton. To start, you have to choose their first dream, play through it, and then unlock their nightmare segment. Of course, we gotta start with the funny man himself, SpongeBob. SpongeBob, SpongeBob. The story goes SpongeBob is snoozing away and he becomes the greatest driver of all time or something. The whole time the French narrator is talking about everything, and you can easily tell it's not the original voice actor.
Alas, I cannot bear to watch another doomed attempt. Bah!
Anyways, SpongeBob goes into a racetrack, a bunch of traffic cones attack him, and he's gotta save the day. The gameplay is pretty simple. It's a point-and-click game where you hold the mouse to move and click on enemies to shoot bubbles at them. You can right-click to enable safe driving mode, where you have more control over the car and you go slightly faster, but you can no longer see the enemy's radius. You could collect these nitro bubble blower thingies to go fast, grab the hose to clean up oil spills, quit the game to end it all, and that's about it. There's a bunch of enemies, but they're super generic. Evil traffic cones, evil wheels, evil oil buckets that shoot oil at you, etc. So far, there's nothing inherently wrong with the game, but it takes forever. This one level took me roughly 12 minutes, and that might not sound too bad, but it was nothing but mind-numbingly boring gameplay. Moving forward, shooting enemy, moving forward, grab a hose, moving forward, shoot more enemies. I understand it's a low-effort kids game, but god damn they butchered it. The worst part is, you can't even die properly, you just get sent back to the beginning while SpongeBob hits you with a witty one-liner. Anyways, after that national tragedy, the story continues on to the nightmare part of the story. SpongeBob is called a hero, but then the jellyfish go crazy or something and kidnap him into their lair. For no reason, SpongeBob has a costume, I guess? I don't know, it's a dream, so I guess it makes sense. This time around, you don't start off with a weapon, so you're forced to sneak around all the enemies, which consist of like 2 different jellyfish. The issue with this is that while you have the enemy's radius on, you go so slow. Like, sure, you could try to chance it and run past them, but they will one-shot you if you stick a single pixel of your toe in front of them. Thankfully, you reach Gary, who will tell you to collect 3 keys to escape. He'll also give you a net gun, but it only works on a single type of jellyfish and it only temporarily stuns them. Besides the new enemies and objective, there's not much different here from the last level, except you're basically forced to go slow, or else the jellyfish will home in on you and melt your insides. After you collect all 3 keys, which I should mention took about 20 minutes to find, I don't know if that says more about me or the game though, you come face to face with a giant jellyfish, and also the worst 3D model of SpongeBob I have ever seen. He uses his net gun, lights him up, saves this decrepit ass picture of Squidward in the background, and wakes up.
Overall, SpongeBob's levels were just way too uninteresting. They were way too similar to each other, and the pace was just way too slow. But let's see how Patrick's levels are. I'm gonna drown. Patrick.
Patrick's story starts off with the evil Patrick planning to take over Bikini Bottom with the most terrifying models I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, Patrick flies up, goes to town, blah blah. I want to squish this stupid pink between my fingers. The objective of this level is to defeat a certain amount of Patrick enemies to progress. You have 2 moves in your arsenal, a short range tongue whip and a fart thruster. Bear in mind, you cannot move forward unless you use the thruster, so all you're going to be hearing is stock superhero music and fart noises. It's my favorite Spotify playlist. There are 3 types of enemies here. You have Salesman Patrick, Dentist Patrick, and the grossest thing I've ever seen, Markiplier Patrick. It wasn't too difficult to track down all the enemies, but the tongue attack just isn't fast or strong enough to deal with the hordes. I ended up dying multiple times. Once again, that could just be me and my gamer hands failing me, but who knows. So anyways, you beat the Patricks, which takes you to the second part of the level, a sky battle. It's a very basic 2D shooting segment, and once again, death basically means nothing, so all you have to do is grab a power up and hold the mouse down. After you beat Evil Patrick, you find out that it was all just a trick to lure you out and steal your cape, where you get all your powers from. Also, I don't know if it's just me going insane, but I kinda like the 2D art here, it just kinda looks neat. The Nightmare segment for Patrick has you trapped in Patrick's house, which is just full of garbage, kinda like my room, which I am not in right now.
God, I miss air.
The level is similar to the Spongebob level in which you just walk around beating enemies either with stealth mode or not. Funny thing, you actually get a vacuum as a weapon which you need to upgrade over time. I think this is what inspired Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. You got your worms, you got your G Fuel puddles, take about 20 minutes to defeat them and navigate the cave until you find Evil Patrick. You turn on blow mode on the vacuum, once again just like Luigi's Mansion, and have to defeat him once and for all. Once again, I do like the art style with these cutscenes, it makes up for the ugly that is 3D Spongebob. Anyways, Patrick wins, yeah, that's about it.
These levels were sort of better. I like the change in objectives, but overall, it was just way too similar to the SpongeBob levels in terms of gameplay. But we're on to our last few levels with our man, Plankton. That can't be good.
Plankton! Plankton! Plankton easily has the best levels of the game, as they feel the most unique. The first level follows the story from the episode where SpongeBob invaded dreams. Plankton enlarges himself to terrorize the town in black and white. Once again, the art is the best part. I would proudly wear this on a Christmas sweater. The goal of the level is to destroy the town and kill hundreds. To accomplish this, you have a basic attack and an I-beam that charges over time. And the more charge that you have, the longer it goes for. You could destroy the buildings by any means, but you have to use the beam to destroy various vehicles. This level is my favorite so far. Not only is it not as long as the previous levels, but the mechanic is unique and sort of fun. Maybe I would enter into the Game Awards, but isn't the worst. After you destroy all the buildings, my man Plankton gets eaten up by a whale. Your goal is to find your way out with the help of other Plankton people. This is probably the most interesting level because it's literally just Pikmin. There's enemies like usual, but to attack them, you have to summon other Planktons to attack for you. Sometimes they'll get confused and just stand there, so you have to right click to summon them again. As you explore, you find more Planktons that you can add to your collection. If they die, they just kind of sit there for a bit before getting back up. Just like the last 2 Nightmare segments, you just kind of wander around killing enemies until you find the exit. There's not really a boss at the end, but there's this big crab dude that I didn't even bother trying to fight. I just ran right past him. You finally escape the whale, but Plankton finds the secret formula. But silly little green fella couldn't read it in time. Aw, rats. Maybe one day, little buddy. So that was Nighty Nightmare. Overall, I think I shaved a good year or 2 off my life. It really had no reason to exist. The only reason it was released was to accompany Creature from the Krusty Krab, but I'm pretty sure not many people got this one. I have never seen this thing until recently. The game itself was just so nothing. The gameplay was almost the exact same between all levels, and everything just felt so generic, stilted, cheap I'd even say. Maybe the people at SpongeBob rushed the shit out of this game, I have no clue. While it's not the worst SpongeBob game I've ever played, trust me, there's worse, this game just felt so nothing. It felt long while only being a couple hours. I think the review from Monado Boy 16 sums it up perfectly. This game is somewhat mediocre. I don't know what he had against the mouse, maybe he just really hates clicking things.
Well, now that that's over, how do I get out of here? Oh no! Did you hear that? No, no, no! My worst fear! Italians! No! Oh, thank God. It was just a nightmare. Wait, didn't I already drown? Huh. I wonder if I could still take out life insurance.